3 stacks in this thing. I'm real hyped and enthused, man. I'm going over an update on one of my favorite decks of all time. I actually built this from scratch practically. It started off as my Gym Knight deck, and slowly but surely, as I tweaked around, upgrading and upgrading, it took me about 3 years to get the deck to where it is. It just became something else completely. I really like it how it is now. It's basically like elite spamming, rock stunning, Gym Knight fusing, crazy, and they're just retarded deck. So many shenanigans. Just so many different combos. I did a few combo videos on this, how you can spam firewalls, do the Tri-Gate co-link, and make a Baguska. It's one of the most powerful boards that any link spamming deck can do. The Baguska is just added in protection, like why not? They're all links. It's really dope. If you did not check out that video, check it out. I believe it's under the description of like spamming like a boss with Gym Knights. I think that's what it's called. But anyways, without further ado, we're gonna hop right into my main deck. So this is kind of like a Gym Knight deck, but there's so much spicy text in it that we don't know what to call it anymore. Starting off with monsters, we play the MVP of the deck, 3 Block Dragon. The reason why so many of the combos are possible, this is like the Spiral Master Plan of the deck. He really is. He literally searches 3 times. You get a technical +3 off of this monster, because if you think of it, when you bring him out off of your Brilliant Fusion, he never costed a card from your hand. The Brilliant Fusion pays for itself, and then he ends up getting you a +3, which is really, really dope. And yeah, the Brilliant Fusion pays for itself because you just send Lazuli when you already pitched, like when you open up with your Predaplay engine and you pitch a Gym Knight like Amber or Lapis, then you do a Brilliant Fusion. You send the baby Lazuli, add back to your hand, so Brilliant Fusion's free now. Then this guy gets you a +3. It's really broken. The combos are just amazing. He is not once per turn to summon itself. That's what makes him so broken. He helps you to climb into higher link monsters, and he offers protection for all your rock monsters so that they just can't be destroyed by pretty much anything, which is really dope. And then we play the Stratos of the deck, 3 Gem Armadillo. He's the main combo piece. You really need to open up with him. I can't wait till we get our new Link monster that requires just 2 gym monsters. That's going to be freaking broke. Then we play 3 copies of Gym Knight Obsidian. This guy's amazing for the Link mechanic, because when you fuse with him, you get a fusion monster and you get another body on field, which is just 2 fodders for your Link summoning, which is amazing. Then we play 3 copies of Lazuli. Sorry guys, I'm sick. 3 copies of Lazuli, not as good as Obsidian, but she still makes your fusions as close to free as possible. Next up, the Predaplay engine is 3 Osiris Scorpion. And in addition to that, the brick, Darlingtonia Cobra. In the Gym Knight deck, not in the Gym Knight deck, in the Lightsworn deck, they play like a lot of potential bricks. If you draw the Garnet, if you draw this card, like there's a lot of 1-ofs. If you draw them, the whole engine's there. Like, for example, in the Gym Knight deck, in the Lightsworn deck, if you draw Garnet, right, basically, Darlingtonia Scorpion's dead, Osiris Scorpion's not as dead. Like, the engine's not as dead, but imagine this, you draw this, and Garnet, like, Brilliant Fusion, Lone Fire Blossoms, Predaplant, like you have like 12 dead cards in hand. With this deck, they're not as dead if you draw them, because there's a lot of ways to extend your plays and make your combos happen without it. This is just an extra additional way to get into your Brilliant Fusion package, which is really dope. But it's not needed, which I like. So it basically lets you make the MS Saber Invoker and summon out, you know, your Earth Warrior, and then you link summon for Missus, and then the combo goes off from there. Then we play 2 copies of Gym Knight Amber and 1 Lapis. These are the only Gym Knights I make for the, that I play for the fusions. So Lazuli and Obsidian just keep fetching these back as much as possible. Then you have the hard reset button with Necroface that puts everything back, and you just keep doing it over and over and over again as much as you possibly can. So that pretty much sums up the Gym Knight portion. And then this next portion of the deck is actually the Rock Stun portion. Which is one of my favorite parts, because it allows me to play a bit more competitively. It turns your Ties of the Brethren into basically 3 negates, which is really, really nice. So we have 2 copies of Kawakimaru Guardian. He's the only Kawakimaru monster I chose to play at a higher number than 1, simply because hand traps they exist. Like, because hand traps are so prevalent, you can open up with this guy or Diamond Cord, normal summon him, and then do your combo. Just so that if your opponent would activate a hand trap like Ash, Ogre, Droll, or even Gamma, you tribute him and negate that hand trap and let your play go off. So that's the only reason I play him at 2. Then I play 1 copy of Overload and 1 copy of Wall. And then, of course, I play the Barrier Statue of Droughts, because everything that I special summon is Earth. It basically says, you know, nobody else can special summon. I think Spirals, you know, they can still special summon their double agent, the super agent, and they can still special summon double helix, which is kind of sucky. But after they make the double helix, they can't special summon Master Plan. They can't special summon any of their other Link monsters. They really can't. So they have to stop at the helix at that point. And they can add the sleeper in hand, but they still can't special summon it. So it stops them a lot of ways, but it still doesn't keep them from summoning helix, which kind of sucks. But at the same time, it does shut down a lot of other plays. And outside of the Spiral matchup, this card is a blowout. So yeah, I really like it. And the added in protection that it gets from Block Dragon and then cards like these. Overload negates any summon, normal, flip, or special summon. Wall negates spells. Spells are power plays. They start up your combo. So it's always nice to negate the Terraforming, Foolish Burial Goods, the Trickstar Light Stage, stuff like that. Its Guardian pretty much negates any monster effects, and Drop just keeps you from special summoning. So if you're playing a deck that doesn't rely too heavily on special summoning and doesn't need to, you could just play your Ties of the Brethren, and you can special summon out, you know, the 3 Kawakimaras where you have 3 negates on board, which is pretty powerful. That takes 3 cards from your opponent's hand, and it makes them start off with 3 basically. You negate 1 spell, monster effect, and a summon, and that alone can just shut their turn down and possibly get you game. Because this deck only needs 1 turn to go off, and it can OTK out of nowhere. Then we play 2 copies of Necroface, one of the MVPs of the deck. This deck banishes way too much. You need a card like this to put everything back. Especially when you go through every card in your extra deck, then banish them all. You just Necroface your entire extra deck back, which is pretty dope. And then 1 Assault Halberd. I chose him over the Thousand Blades because I'm going to banish my target anyway, so Thousand Blades serves no purpose in this deck. And then if you happen to draw him, you can always special summon him if your opponent controls a monster, which is pretty cool. So you can make, like, you know, your Baguska with him, worst case scenario. Sorry, like I said, man, I'm sick. If you're taking it as a hint, like if there's a hint of disrespect, I'm sorry. I can't control it, but yeah, I know that I sound, my nose sounds stuffed up and stuff, but that sums up the monsters. Then moving forward to the spells. 3 copies of Gem Knight Fusion, the best spell in the deck. If you open with your Gem Knight Fusion and your Brilliant and an Earth, you have the combo where those 3 cards get you so far. You basically you're gonna burn through almost every card in your extra deck, make the Firewalls, the Trigate, and the Baguska, and you just keep going. It's really cool. I showed it in the combo video. Like the Armadillo, Gem Knight Fusion, and Brilliant Fusion get you so freaking far. It's crazy. 3 copies of Ties of the Brethren. There's so many targets. It's great. And I cut Absorb Fusion down to 2. There's a lot of games where I was either opening with this and then I opened with my combo. It's because I need a special summon Block Dragon for my combos. You can't special summon anything but Gem Knights when you resolve this card. So I was like, dang, you know, this is really conflicting. So I cut it down to 2 just so I wouldn't open up with this so often. And I can still resolve my combo without having too many dead cards in hand. So it's like, you can choose to activate this and then go for your Gem Knight Fusion. And like summon, for example, like double Zirconia, you can make like a rank 8. If you play the rank 8s, just to stall out for a turn, so you can proceed to go for your Black Dragon plays next turn. But nonetheless, it adds any Gem Knight card from your deck to your hand. Then 2 copies of Diamond Core, it adds any Kawakimaru card from deck to hand. It's just a Rock Stun, and then it also banishes itself from grave, and they cannot be destroyed whatsoever. Battle card effects. And then 2 Pot of Acquisitiveness to recycle and draw. You banish so much, it's crazy. And then 1 Soul Charge, believe it or not, because you want to Soul Charge back your Firewalls, you want to Soul Charge back, you know, your most important Link monsters to make your co-link even more, you know, abusive. Like, if you messed up in your combo and try gets not co-linked by 3, you can Soul Charge a couple Link monsters back and put his co-link up to 3. And of course, you know, if you happen to be crazy and you have the Soul Charge in hand, you could sack off your Firewalls, both of them, for a Link 2 monster, then Soul Charge them both back. And they'll face up on the field again, so you can use their effects, which is pretty cool. Like, use them again. So that sums up the spells, and that's pretty much it for the main deck. This deck is really, really spicy. There's like no Gem Knight build out there that even compares to this. Not even saying like, oh, I'm better or anything like that, but there's just no build that's like this, and I'll say it like that. For the extra deck, we have 2 Firewalls, 1 Trigate, Gaia Saber, Missus, Proxy, Binary. I only have 1 Proxy, so it's like, Binary is important because of the left and right arrows. That's the only reason why. And then for fusions, we have Lady Brilliant, Triple Zirconia, the most important fusion of the deck, Prismara, and Seraphonite. How do you make your Seraphonite since you don't play lights? Lady Brilliant Diamond summons any Gem Knight from the extra deck, ignoring its summoning condition. By sending 1 Gem Knight you control, you can literally summon her, send herself to the grave, and bring out Seraphonite, double summon. There you have it. Then we have MX Saber, Invoker, and Baguska. I want space for a whole Harbinger Titanic Galaxy, because there's another combo where you can go the Firewall, Baguska, and you can actually go a Firewall, Baguska, or you can go Firewall and then the Titanic Galaxy. So you have two choices, and sometimes negating spells could be a bit more relevant. It's just an option. So I was like, I want to play that rank 8 just because it provides me that extra, you know, outlet, and also like more control helps. So yeah, that sums up the deck profile, you guys. God bless you. Make good choices. Don't hurt your brain cells. I hope you enjoyed this. I love y'all, and you'll definitely be hearing from me soon. I'm trying to grind today, you feel me? I got to get to work, though. I love y'all, and when I get home, I'm going to upload a lot more videos, I promise.